Hey there, welcome to the channel. I really appreciate you taking time out your day to watch this video, and I really hope you enjoy what I have in store for you today. So if you've seen some of my reviews, you'll know that I don't usually have nice things to say about Zack Snyder's movies, but I don't think it's fair for me to say that I don't like him as a director if I haven't even watched all of his movies. So today is the beginning of my director binge of all of Zack Snyder's movies, starting with his take on Superman, Man of Steel. With the destruction of his planet at hand, Kal-El, aka Superman, is sent to planet Earth, where he is raised by Jonathan and Martha Kent to use his superpowers for good, but to keep them secret. But when Earth finds itself threatened, Superman must embrace his destiny and become the savior that humanity needs. So before doing this review, I actually haven't watched Man of Steel since it came out in 2013. And since then, there's been a lot of talk about people wanting a sequel. Like, where's Man of Steel 2? Where's Man of Steel 2? And re-watching it now, I was just like, I don't think it needs a sequel. But before I get into why it doesn't need a sequel, let me talk about some of the things I did like about Man of Steel. Yes, I want this. One thing that I do admire about Zack Snyder's work on Man of Steel is that the shots are absolutely stunning. They really capture the epicness that is Superman, especially during scenes where they're trying to portray him like a Jesus-like figure and he's just basking in the sunlight. It just gets me all in my feelings like, yes, praise be unto the Man of Steel. And I thought the costume designs were on point, and I loved the controversy surrounding Superman's look. People always made fun of Superman for having the red underwear on the outside of his clothes, but this movie just came up and went, hey, what if he didn't have red underwear? And they did it, and he looks really cool. It's like just one little change just made a huge difference. The coolest costumes, though, belong to the Kryptonians, because they had this epic-looking armor with their family insignia on it, especially the one that Jor-El wears in the beginning of the movie. Like, I would totally wear that to Comic-Con if I could, afford it. And as ridiculous as they are, I was very entertained by the action sequences, because they showed what it would be like when beings with super strength, flight, and heat vision start throwing hands with each other. Like, I felt like I could feel the impact of each blow. It was just, foo! I was like, oh, he got hit really hard. Especially in the finale when Superman's fighting General Zod and buildings are collapsing, massive explosions are everywhere. It was like I was watching a Michael Bay movie, and I mean that in a good way. I know there's this stigma about superhero movies having big CGI fights at the end of their movies, but I'm still not tired of it. I want all the CGI chaotic deliciousness. Just give it all to me. Now fans, myself included, have been wanting a true Man of Steel sequel for a long time now, but for some reason Warner Brothers Studios just never gave one to us. But rewatching Man of Steel now, I'm kinda understanding why. Because this movie, to put it bluntly, is just not good. One reason why is because I don't think the story is well written. There's a lot going on in Man of Steel where things just happen for the sake of plot. And a lot of movies are guilty of this, but it was extra distracting in Man of Steel. A big example of this is how they use the character Lois Lane. Because there's a scene where Superman is taken captive by the Kryptonians, but the Kryptonians also want Lois Lane to come with them. Why? Well, so she can save Superman later. In order for the plot to continue, that makes sense, but in terms of the story, the Kryptonians don't even need her. They actually just need Superman, so why is she there? The whole time I was watching it, I was just like, oh, they just take her to put her in a room and have her stand there? Like, why do that? Another thing was that Man of Steel was pitched to be the beginning of a cinematic universe of movies with a darker tone to its stories, unlike the more lighthearted tone that you would see in an MCU movie, and I was down for that, but Man of Steel doesn't handle that dark tone well. This movie was attempting to be really serious and epic, but like I mentioned earlier, the story isn't written well, so the lines that are delivered sounded like they were trying way too hard, and it came off as cheesy. People might hate me for this, but I can't stand that scene where Clark Kent is a kid and he's hiding in the closet at school and his mom's trying to talk to him and he's just like, "The world's too big, Mommy." Then make it small. Pretend you're swimming in the middle of the ocean and you see an island. Swim to it, Clark. Oh dear God, it makes me cringe every time I see it. Like, serious and cheesy, it just doesn't go together. It just makes it weird. How Man of Steel uses this dark tone also ruins Superman as a character, because in Man of Steel, he's supposed to be the savior that leads humanity to a bigger, brighter future. Yet, at the same time, he has a complete disregard for human life. On one hand, he's horrified by Zod's plans of genocide, yet on the other, he has no problem throwing Kryptonians through buildings and factories where people are, knocking them over and blowing them up in the process. In a darker tone movie, I expected people to die. It's an alien invasion, it's inevitable. But Superman doesn't even try to take people in consideration, especially in that finale. In the comics or cartoons, Superman would stop mid-fight to rescue people, or he would at least take the fight to a deserted area. But in this movie, he was like, nope, say goodbye to IHOP, hurrah! It didn't make sense to me. The biggest issue for me though about Man of Steel was that they made Superman a brick wall emotionally. Because they casted Henry Cavill, who is pretty much Superman in real life. The guy is awesome. But they held back so much of his personality that it made Superman just blah. I didn't see him as a symbol of hope or a character that I could be inspired by. I saw him as a closeted serial killer. I'm not supposed to feel that way about Superman. I get it. They want the movie to deal with more adult themes. Death, violence, chaos, adult stuff. But that doesn't mean your character shouldn't have personality. The animated DC movies are very dark in tone, yet Superman is still so charming and warm. Like, that's the point of Superman. He's supposed to be that light in the darkness. But Man of Steel doesn't do that for him, and that drains my soul as a fan. What is the verdict? As a movie fan, I didn't think Man of Steel was god-awful. I thought it was just plain bad. But as a Superman fan, I was incredibly frustrated. Because Superman is my favorite DC hero, and I strongly disliked how Zack Snyder represented him in this movie. Because after watching this, I'm glad we're not getting a Man of Steel sequel, because I don't want to see Superman get butchered like this again. But if you've seen the rest of Zack Snyder's DC repertoire, he does get butchered again, and it gets worse. Man of Steel is like one-ply toilet paper. It's soft. So Man of Steel, did you see it? What'd you think about it? Let me know down in the comments below. And be on the lookout for my next review of my Zack Snyder binge fest, Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole. It's about owls. And if you enjoyed this review and you want to see more, click right here to see more. Now hit the theme music.